This is the last part that I said I would be producing of how to be an astronomer. And in this one, I'm just going to show you guys what I took the observations of and all that. And I'm just going to show you my notes and how I took them and all that. Now, I probably will show you a demonstration at some point of physically hands-on doing it, but that might wait a little while. We'll see when that happens. And hopefully that can maybe happen the 14th when I do my live stream, but we'll see if that one goes through. If that one doesn't, I'm just going to cancel it out for now, and I'll just post a new one whenever I can get around to that. But either way, I'm probably going to try doing some videos of some sort. Now, I'm going to flip on my other camera so that you guys can see my notes. Now guys, I have my observing notebook. This was the one that I made using the brown notebook that I had to manufacture it myself. And this observation was Polaris. Polaris is right here in the image that I drew the picture of. I used a circle template to draw out this circle. Any kind of circle will work, even if you just sketch it in or something like that. But you want to put your object you're observing as the centerpiece in it, and then I had a few stars that were around it, or different objects, and I put those down, and Polaris is right here in the middle. Up here on the top, I put my object name, which was Polaris. I wrote down my right ascension and declination, and mine was positive 89 degrees. Declination was positive 89 degrees, 22 feet, 14.7 inches. And my RA, right ascension, was 3 hours, 4 minutes, 7.29 seconds. And that was the position of Polaris. Then we have the constellation here, which I wrote down, which I forgot to put that in. But this one would be the Little Dipper. I'll make sure I put that in next time I take notes. I didn't realize that until now. Then we've got your name, date, and time, which was the 4th month, 16th day of 2025 at 11:49 p.m. All of that's important if you want to share it with someone, because you can say approximately at this time in XYZ year, at this time of the year, you should be able to see it. But Polaris is pretty much visible any time of the year, so you don't have to worry too much about that. Then we've got instrument, which is right here, and my instrument was a telescope. You could use binoculars, any of the different devices that I've described in this one, in my How to Be an Astronomer videos here. Then we got the power and the filters. I had no filters, so I didn't write any filters down. I had a power of 43.5 times magnification. I also wrote down the type of eyepiece, which was a 23 millimeter, and I also wrote it down up here. I put that note down up on the top of the page so that then I could come back to it the next day, because I didn't know directly the measurements of the telescope exactly, so of the focal length, because there's like whole ratio mix you have to do with that, which I probably should go over that in another video. I'll make sure I do that for you guys. I'll make sure I do that. Okay. Then we have your latitude, which my latitude was 33.44, and my longitude was 84.3. Now that's not the exact numbers, they should have been negative, but these are approximations because I just rounded it up because it's so much easier to deal with a rounded number than going out and writing all the individual digits, because like that's crazy. But if you just write down like for me, I could have easily wrote down like 33 and it would have been pretty close to where it needed to be. Then we've got transparency 1 to 5, and it was a number 3 for me. And then seeing was a letter E, which goes 1 to 10. But I found out when I was looking at, I'll make sure I post a picture through my Instagram, or even on YouTube, I'll post it too, of the how they measure these based on the program that I'm getting it from. And then we have a description down here at the bottom, and I gave a very brief description. Polaris is found in the Little Dipper. It is the handle of the Little Dipper and is relatively bright. You can go into as much detail as you want. You can give a little... the description is mostly going to describe like where it's located at. Like you're going to want to put in there like where it's located at and like how you found it and different things like that. Polaris is pretty easy to find, so as long as you know where north is on your property, you should be able to find it. And if you can find the Little Dipper like I described there, you should be able to do it. But you can go into as detailed as a description as you want. Like, you could have gone on to a whole nother page or whatever you wanted. But I just gave a very brief description. Now, let me pull you out the other one so that I can show you how theirs worked. I probably should do one on the computer and on the tablet for you guys, but that's going to be a little while until I get around to doing one of those. These may be a couple parts, couple of them, but I'm going to go doing them slowly and then releasing them. But here is the one that I did of theirs. Okay. I put up here, this one was an observation of Regulus. I put down Regulus. I also put down the Greek letters for it and all that. It is found in the constellation was Leo. Its right ascension was 10 hours, 0.8 minutes, 22.6 seconds, positive 11 degrees, 50 feet, 33.9 inches. And then I put down my name here, and I didn't put my name on the other one, but it's a good idea to put it down. And then this one was at 10:01 p.m. It was the 4th month, 17th day, the 2025. And then telescope. I used a telescope. I did not put down binoculars. I put down telescope. 32x. 32x is magnification. And then we had no filters, so I wrote down no filters. I put a no down. The seeing was E, just like the other one. And then I had a 3 for the transparency. My latitude was 33.4. Negative 84.3 was the longitude. Here was Regulus right here. And then they had 2 circles. I put it in the low power one. I probably should have put it in the higher power, but really you don't need the 2 circles. You only need one of the circles, really, like I did on the other one. They just decided to do low power and high power. That's what they decided for their program. Then I gave a little description down here in the bottom. Regulus is found in the lower bottom corner of Leo, and it is a very bright star, which means it is very easy to find. Yep, and I gave a little brief description on it, where you can find it and where it's at. And I think that's all for you guys for now.